people of the interwebs. Today I'm going to be working on Mr. Dose, my 91 MR2 project car. Link up above my head is not to the Mr. Dose, it's actually to Forester Gump. That's a Forester. My MR2 recently broke in a very annoying way, and we're gonna fix it. A lot of people see these cars on YouTube and they're like, man, I wanna buy a 90s blah 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 as a project car. And then you forget the fact that they're almost 30 years old. And 30-year-old cars break in ways that you just don't want to deal with. Not you, Gump. Gump here is only 5 years old. Got a little treat out there in the driveway I'll be doing a review on here pretty soon. I gotta show you guys what the MR2 is doing every time I go to move this thing in and out of the garage. I haven't taken it for a drive also because of this issue and another issue. Pay attention to the sound when I shut the door after I get into the car. Why are you not doing it now? That's how it always happens. Cannot replicate. I'll show you. Passenger side door lock button is the only one that works. Windows, nothing. Okay. Oh yeah, sure. That light down there still illuminates. What I was trying to replicate for you and completely struggling at doing, just because that's my luck right now, is every time you shut the door when you get in the car, the door locks try to unlock themselves twice. You shut the door to hear click, 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 click. Still won't do it. Anyway, that is where I'm going to start my troubleshooting. Maybe there's something that is shorted and it's grounding out in that circuit and it's causing issues with the rest of the door harness, a shared power or shared ground, something that's similar with all of that circuit in there, and then repair it. Can't take the door panel off with the glass up. I'm sure you could try to force it, but I'm not trying to break this door panel. So, power probe, go gadget nail. There we go, come out of there, there we go. I gotta figure out which one of these wires is power and which one is ground for my window motor. Pull this back, there's the window motor right there. Come out of your house. There you go. The way in which this circuit operates is you get power to one side and ground to the other to make the window go up, and then vice versa to make it go down. There we go. Windows down. Just like that. There we go. Door panel is off. If you just watched the video I did on the headlight retrofit of the Forester, this plastic sheet that protects all the intestines of the door is held on by that butyl stuff that the headlight is sealed with. So luckily I have some more and I can reseal this thing. Because of the fact that I don't have power windows, power door locks on the driver door, or window functions on either door, means that it's a shared wire, shared power or shared ground within that circuit. So it should be somewhat easy to troubleshoot, I hope. 30 amp fuse is the power supply. The power comes in on this blue wire, and then this is the switch that is in the driver's side door right here. When you're troubleshooting electrical circuits like this, you can't solely rely on the wiring schematic. You have to use Ethereal operations as well, so that way you know where potential is flowing from, and it'll make sense when you're actually looking at the schematic that way. So let's start chasing some wires then. Power and ground first. Here is the power blue wire. Check that guy right there and see what I got. Yep, 12.1 volts. I know it for sure now. The main switch assembly is getting power when it should. White wire, black stripe is your ground. Nothing, and that's a good ground source right there too. All right, so there's my broken wire. What you saw me just do is test for power right here at terminal 9 of the main switch assembly. With the ignition switch turned on and the power window master switch in the up position, the current flowing to terminal 9 of the power window master switch flows to terminal 3 of the master switch, terminal 2 of the power window motor Basically what that's saying is the flow of potential in the current configuration is to terminal 9 and then to terminal 3, which provides power for your power window motor, left hand. However, what I discovered is I do not have ground where I should. A common problem I had when I first got this car and I could not get it to run. Well, I eventually got it to run because of stupid electrical problems like this. As you see right here, the white with black wire, that is the ground for this entire circuit, which is currently open. That means I need to track it down and see where that wire is broken. When you're troubleshooting an open in a power circuit, you're going to check for the last known source of power throughout the flow of that schematic. But because this is a ground, it's same, but no power, because this is ground. So, cue that time lapse. Good and bad news. Good news, I can re-replicate that noise I was talking about in the beginning of the video that I couldn't do. Bad news, it's not as simple as I thought it was going to be. Start with the good news. As you can see, I have a clip acting as a ground for my power window switch. The noise I was talking about whenever I would get in the car is this. Watch, I'm gonna take the ground away from that circuit. That's my door locks trying to unlock when they're already unlocked. Literally just dawned on me while I was looking at that. It's because the key is in the ignition cylinder. That's why it's important to read. With ignition key in cylinder, unlock warning switch on when the door is opened and locked using the door lock knob, door lock motor. The door is locked once, but each door is unlocked soon by the function of the ECU. It's because I have the key in the ignition. Guarantee if I do that again with the key outside the car, it won't do it. All right, now let's hit the unlock button. There we go. And I can't do the windows because the door is already opened. This guy right here allows you to put the windows up or down for 60 seconds after you turn the car off unless you open the door. The key off power window circuit prevents me from doing that with the door open. So much for that theory. Check this out. That sound you hear is my door is trying to unlock when I wiggle the harness going to the door. I have a wild theory. This is my temporary ground I was using to make this work. I'm gonna wiggle this harness over here and see if I can get the window to go up or down. Yep. Gymnastics, Sarah, don't smack your head. Something's isolated now, that's a plus. Just take that shit apart and see what I can find. Come out of your hole. I bet you that's the ground. Bet you anything that's ground. That's where my ground is at, right there. If I wiggle this around right there, my issue is the ground wire. The ground's jumping around all over the place. It's not getting a good ground. And that is where the term KISS, keep it simple, stupid, comes from. It's really easy to overanalyze things when you're electrical troubleshooting, and it's best to just keep it simple because that's likely what the source of the problem is. Something simple and something that someone screwed with before also. Oh, it's crusty as fuck. And there's the issue right there. Look how crusty that pin is. It's covered in green galvanic corrosion. This is what the reality is of owning a classic JDM car. You run into stuff like this all the damn time. But it's okay because it's still a special car and it's worth saving. That's what I keep telling myself over and over and over again. That is a clean terminal. Let's see what happens now. I have wondered at times if this is a flood damage car, but the fact that it's only select wires that have this issue and there's no corrosion or anything, I don't think that's the issue. Moment of truth. Did Sarah fix her car? Plug you in. I know that beeping noise the car makes when you put the key in the ignition is really annoying, so I edited in a different sound effect for you. I'm not sure what that was, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Does my window work? Hell yeah. Does it go up? Door locks. That's supposed to unlock because the key's in the ignition. Mirror. Yep. Passenger side. Yep. Now that that is taken care of, I can move on to more important things. Like this that just arrived in the mail. Holy shit, what are you guys up to? Are you multiplying? Are you planning on taking me over? To fill the hole in my other spot above the steering column where I'm putting the wideband boost controller, I bought a matching gauge from Innovative because I don't want two brands of gauges, that just look weird. This one is a oil pressure and oil temp gauge. The MR2 from the factory isn't equipped with an oil pressure gauge, so I figured that's the best way to fill a hole is with something useful. That's it. I don't know if I want to keep going with this one. I'm just gonna stop right there. This car just sits in the garage all the damn time. And now that I got the Supra this week, I want to compare it against the Supra. It's an odd comparison, but even dirty, it looks good. I had to stop and get a shot of this thing. Just like the MR2. I was thinking that the suspension, the MR2, was just not dialed in all the way yet, but no, this thing's just as rough on a back road. You can hear all my stuff rattling around the back of the car too. Up there in the corner of those beams is a cactus wren. Good morning, bird. Good morning, people. It's the next day. It's such a pleasure driving this car. I'm gonna do some B-roll of this thing. I'm being proactive. I'm shooting 2 videos at once in one day. I'm shooting this video you're watching right now, and I'm shooting this video, a car review you're gonna see in 2 weeks. See if I can get close to it. Oh, there it goes. Bye, owl. Bye. I was trying to get close to the owl so I could get on camera, but apparently the owl had other plans. Speaking of plans, we got plans for the next video on the MR2. I have one last part I think I need to order for the MR2 before I turn the boost up. And that is I want to upgrade the fuel pump that's in this car because I don't know the condition of the fuel pump. I do know this car has sat for years before I got it, and I don't drive it that often either. So it does have fresh tank gas in it right now, but I would feel much more comfortable at least seeing what's inside that tank, cleaning it out, and replacing the little mesh baggie that's on the fuel pump, and upgrading the fuel pump while I'm at it too if I'm gonna turn the boost up. And as far as Forester goes, I just got a package in the mail, some more parts for this thing. And also, the day you're watching this right now, unless you're in the future, this is the last day to enter into Boss Garage's International Quarantine Car Show. Link in my video description below, that's why I'm pointing down. You can enter your vehicle in no matter where you live in the world, and I am one of the judges for the tuner taste category because I like sushi. It's actually for budget builds, but that's beyond the point. There's a bunch of amazing YouTube channels that are participating in this as judges, and one of them recently just gave me a shout out, Zip Ties and Bias Plies. He makes some f***ing minty content and destroys the shit out of old f***ing trucks. It's actually one of Charlie's favorite channels. I've seen some of his videos before, and he works on a lot of diesels too, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you soon with another. Okay, I'm rambling now. Bye.